It's hard to kind of speak on what he needs to do and what the company needs to do at this point because given the state of the economy, given the changing landscape of Bushi Road's business and everything, I can't tell you whether they need to cut bait with this guy or invest in him, to be honest with you. And I don't know what kind of offers are on the table for Hikuleo at this current time. There's no denying. Um, we've been fans of Hikuleo. Guys got a lot of gifts physically and very talented. And I think that sometimes he gets a bit of a bad rap for whatever reason when it comes to his work, and not always undeservedly so. Um, this tag team has helped quite a bit, but the one thing he's kind of failed to do up to this point, and maybe that's his fault, maybe it's not. I couldn't say. It might just be bad booking. He's kind of failed to really make his mark in Japan. And what I mean by that is oftentimes the kind of guys that AEW and WWE are going to look to snatch up and sign are those people who've had a great deal of success in Japan. They've won world titles, they've had these illustrious runs, they've been main eventers, and then they can kind of parlay that success into whatever they want to do with them in the states. And thus far, the biggest success you could probably give him is the tag run, the God 2.0. He held the Never title very briefly. He did oust Jay White from the company, and he went far in a block in the G1. But none of those things really scream like superstar. So if they did sign him, it would, to me, be based off of they see something in his raw potential, they want to build off of it, or in the case of like WWE, it might even be like, hey, we can sign another one of Haku-san's. There's marketability here with the storyline with continuing the never-ending bloodline scenario. And if that's what he winds up doing, all the better for him. I'm sure there's a reason why he's not. If and we don't even have this verified, but it's believed that he's not signed. I'm sure there's a reason if he's not signed why that is. And I don't know if that's because the money offer's been too low or he has aspirations to go elsewhere. I couldn't tell you at this current time. But I think just me personally, I do think that there's a ceiling in New Japan for Hikuleo. I don't see him as being like an IWGP contender. And when I kind of look at how many other young generation guys they have to build and push, I just don't see him at the top of that list.
Yeah, which was kind of what left us puzzled last year when they gave him that G1 push, and why they had him beat Jay White. Because I think there is more to invest in with guys like Shota Umino and Yota Tsuji, and Ren Narita, and then you have Hikuleo, like we said, like he's been good, but yeah, he's not a guy I think you want to give that G1 run to have him be the guy that ousts Jay White, one of your top foreign stars, former champion out of the company, and have no follow up. Like, why wasn't he in New Japan Cup? And I know a lot of that's not on him, that's a lot on the booking, but
Mhm.
if you were going to have him beat Jay White, then yeah, you would think the next he would have been a New Japan Cup and maybe run far there and then be challenging for more titles. He had that quick, strong title run with against Kenta and kind of dropped the belt back immediately.
Yep.
So there's just been a lot of questionable booking along with him not really performing to these super high heights that you would want from a New Japan main eventer. And I feel like they are gearing up for Bloodline Civil War in WWE. So they've signed Jacob Fatu. Like we mentioned, they have Tama Tonga. So why not bring in Hikuleo and bring in any other Samoan Tongan person you can to kind of keep that storyline going on forever. So they can do that. And as far as El Phantasmo, I mean, he's super talented. I think he's a guy that could do well in with a main event push, but they've also kind of kept him at a certain level. I mean, he was a guy that we thought could potentially be the leader of Bullet Club, and now they kind of just have him as a guy floating around in Hontai in a tag team. And again, you talked about money, and it's like Well, these foreign guys, the yen is down, and if they want to make money and not have to travel to Japan, I could definitely see both of them seeking offers from WWE or AEW to get big money deals and make more money and then not have to be doing these long travels.
Yeah, and I mean, again, we're not in the we're not at the negotiation table. We don't have inside scoops. I couldn't tell you what has gone on, but I'm just kind of speculating here. Um, Taking both of these tag team titles off of this team after they had given both sets of titles to them in the beginning of the year, that could be an indication of something because, they put the titles on them. I don't know if that was an enticement to try and get them to sign and maybe show a bit of good faith from the company. And then as time went on, they're obviously it seems like they're still not signed. So we've learned our lesson, or hopefully New Japan has learned their lesson not to put titles on unsigned talent. Oh, wait, they did that just now with John Moxley. But aside from that, hopefully they've learned that lesson. And I'm guessing that's probably why we've seen these two title changes, in recent succession. And I'm guessing until there is some sort of firm commitment, I don't expect to see them being pushed or utilized in a major way. And maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I agree.